Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin, I'd like to thank you all for coming to hear me speak today. I'm James Fraley, and I would like to propose a few changes to school security in our country. It is obvious that violence in schools has increased majorly in recent years, and obviously something should be done to prevent more shootings and other acts of violence from happening in our schools in the future. Lots of schools are vulnerable to these types of attacks because oftentimes there's no one there to protect the teachers and students. Very often, when a shooter enters a school building, there's no one there to protect them until the police arrive. However, it has been proven that armed guards in schools help reduce the number of casualties in the event of a shooting. Any loss of life is a tragedy. However, it hurts even more when you hear of a death that could have been prevented. According to Euronews, there have been about 300 school shootings reported in the United States since 2013. This averages to about one shooting per week. This also averages to around 52 school shootings every year. According to Axios, 122 people have been killed in mass school shootings since Columbine in 1999. This only includes those who were killed in shootings that resulted in 4 or more deaths. Many others have lost their lives in school shootings that aren't considered mass shootings. Though it is the most common, shootings aren't the only type of deadly violence that occurs in schools. Students have often used knives to harm and kill other students and teachers on many occasions. According to CNN, there were 3 fatal stabbings in high schools in the United States in 2009. Knife violence adds a whole new challenge when it comes to school security. Even though violence in schools is on the rise, with the proper security put into place, I think we could start cutting down on the number of violent acts in our schools. Having more armed guards in our schools would make the students and teachers inside safer. Armed guards deter shooters from approaching the building. Armed guards are also there to protect students in the case of an attack on the school, since they can stop the shooter before there are any casualties. A perfect example of this is Blaine Gaskell and the shooting at the high school in Maryland. Blaine Gaskell was his school's resource officer. When Gaskell heard gunfire, he rushed the attacker, stopping him before he could kill anyone. I also think metal detectors at the door where students and visitors enter would allow another level of safety. This would alert the guard when someone would have a weapon on them before they enter the building where they could hurt or kill someone. This would help reduce the number of both shootings and stabbings in schools. I also think that it would be a good idea to hire veterans or retired policemen to these jobs. According to the National Coalition for Homeless Veterans, there are 39,471 homeless veterans on any given night. This would give a much-needed job to veterans who deserve so much more than what they have. When I asked people about this idea, many people were very uneasy about it. They expressed concerns about the mental health of some veterans and that they would cause more harm than good in a school environment. So I propose background checks and mental health checks to ensure these veterans will be no harm to the students and school administrators they are hired to protect. Imagine if this plan was put into place and it worked. We could finally feel safe in school. People would be less likely to plan an attack on schools. In the event of an attack, there would be someone available to protect the students. There would be less veterans homeless on the streets, and veterans would finally have a job and could afford the things they need and deserve in life. If something isn't done soon, many more lives could be lost in schools. Parents send their children to school with the expectation that their child will return home safely. It is the duty of the school to do everything in its power to assure that all students are safe at school so they can return home to their families at the end of the day. To conclude, with many attacks in schools on the rise, something must be changed to better protect children in schools. Armed guards would deter attackers from targeting schools and would reduce the number of casualties in the event of an attack. Metal detectors would also stop students from bringing weapons into the building that they could use to harm or kill other students or teachers. Hiring veterans to work as guards in school would reduce the number of homeless veterans and would finally help give some veterans the jobs and lives they deserve. Thank you for your time and for hearing what I have to say. I hope I said some things to make you see my point of view, and again, I thank you all for coming.